Are there any creative itches that you hope to tackle before you basically take your last breath someday?
Yeah, there is.
What are they?
I want to do a create your own pretty badly. I have an idea.
And write it too, or not?
Yes. Look at you. I don't know any other artist that sits around in a studio shredding about their own artwork. You fucking narcissist.
You
Come
are
on, Nazi
overcome
Santa
and
Claus,
state in
tell some
our
more.
beautiful
Why don't you go
success.
dye your beard? Go dye your beard, you moron.
My beard looks beautiful like this.
Your
It's
beard
like half
you
and half.
idiot. Funny because people say, oh, your stuff is very realistic. And I'm like, actually, it's really not. My light sources make no sense. My anatomy is pretty whack. I've just figured out how to draw just realistically enough to fool you.
I don't know what he did here. What? First of all, it's still the same. Like, none of these characters are in proper perspective. They all look fake. They all look like color forms that were placed over this fake background here. This is the situation. All right, let's go back and see what people are saying.
But a lot of it is it's kind of a magic trick. It's kind of like, it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors in there.
I'm confused where the light source is coming from. The shadow says it's behind them, but whatever they're looking at says it should be in front of them. That's right. There's a shadow over them.
I think if you just saw the line work, you go, okay, that looks pretty whack. And I'm like, yeah, but watch this. And then I'll add the shadows and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, now.
Everyone's eye line is somewhere else. Everyone's looking in different directions. She's looking over straight up here. She's looking over there. She's looking at us. Storm is looking at us. Captain America's kind of looking up.
It's kind of a magic trick.
Wolverine's look at Wolverine's finger touching like this tangent. Mark, what are you doing? And this wouldn't even be a problem if it wasn't for the fact that you're going around denigrating other artists, talking about how you've improved and nobody else is improving.
No,
You are a hack. You are a hack.
The truth of the matter is,
everyone
Mark,
in the industry
you cannot create anything of your own. This is
but I think that it's not a lack of knowledge. I can draw very realistically, but why would I want to do that? Because it's boring.
We can see the underside of Captain Marvel's boobs on a down shot, and she is basically, she's basically laying on the ground from this angle.
You had to call the
then
police.
Come see me, coward.
If no one's afraid of me, I want to.
It's the rendering that I think is what fools people.
Yeah.
It's a mishmash, a collage of drawings that were done separately, it seems, and then sort of layered over each other really poorly so that the perspective is all wrong.
And you don't want your artwork to look static. It needs to have motion. People need to feel like you're capturing somebody in the middle of an action.
Perspective is all wrong.
Come on,
Mark,
coward.
You're wrong. I don't have any stock puppet accounts. You're delusional and crazy.
Are you scared, Ethan? And people can tell when you have reference to photo too much.
His work seems to be composited photos and tracing. Right. Reminds me of Greg Land. Exactly correct.
They can tell because photos are static.
By the way, I know now Mark Brooks just Google references shit, Google image references shit, because I have this same piece of reference that was used to make her face.
And that doesn't work so well if you try to draw from a picture.
I saw it on Google Images and I liked it and I stored it away. This looks exactly like it. It looks like it was just plugged in. Like, this looks like it was just a filter was put over it and it was. And I don't know if he does that all the time, but I know it was done here. I know it was done here because I have this piece of reference. It jumped right out at me and I went, oh.
Very insightful. Hopefully we'll get to meet in person, and best of luck.
Are you scared to come see me? Are you going to be in New York Comic-Con in 3 days?
Comic-Con,
you wherever you want. You coward.
Mark, you want to fight me at New York City Comic-Con?
Come on.
Is that what you're saying?
Come on, coward.